Hi guys! Kung nagtataka kayo bakit ganito ang get up ko, this is in solidarity with our friends, families, and everyone who's having a cold or who's sick, having a fever, at walang mahanap na biogesic kahit saan. No, seriously, if you're having a cold or if you're having a fever right now, I wish you well. Sana gumaling po kayong lahat. Anyway, welcome back to the vlog. Handa na ba kayo? This is the weekly legal roundup. Hello again guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the House of Law and I am Attorney Al Jumrani. Before I go to this week's roundup of the news or that much talked about updates, I'd like to give a shout out sa mga nanonood or sa mga nanood at nag-comment sa huli kong video tungkol sa BDO. Una sa kanila ay ang BDO na nag-offer ng credit card na may free annual fee for life. Joke lang. Pero baka naman BDO. Anyway, seriously, I want to say hi to Rajso Lacson, Majo Yap, Jason Born 78, Lagim Media Files, Morphosis, Techie, Me 2020, This Is It, Cashflow PH, Marnil Rosaroso, Sharain Chong. Kung di ako nagkakamali, kaklase ko siya sa AB Political Science sa Western Mindanao State University back in the 90s. Si Rancel Ortiz, na estudyante ko naman dati sa University of the East College of Law, si Danilo Garcia, Klutz Payaso, at Maria Lourdes Taktay. Ayan, maraming salamat sa pagsubaybay lagi. So kayo na di pa nakasubscribe, ano pa hinintayin nyo? Scandal ko? OnlyFans ko? Please subscribe to my channel at click nyo na rin ang notification bell para mauna kayo sa balita at mapanood nyo lagi ang mga videos ko. Thank you. Okay, let's now go to the weekly roundup. So for the first news, ang bar update na hinintay pero hindi inaasahan. After the IBP Cebu asked for a deferment of the bar exams to at least 4 or 5 weeks after the scheduled date this January 2022, and with the rising number of COVID-19 cases, in fact, mahigit 17,000 ngayong araw lang, January 6, 2022, naglabas ang Korte Suprema noong isa araw, January 4, 2022, ng Bar Bulletin number 31 series of 2022, kung saan 2 araw na lang ang bar exam from the traditional 4 days. What is more, from the usual 1 week rest in between exams, 1 day na lang ang rest o pahinga ng mga examinees. Kaya ngayong taon, ang bar exam ay gaganapin sa January 23, 2022 Sunday at January 25, 2022 Tuesday. O diba, Lunes lang, isang araw lang ang pahinga. Sa experience ko noong nag-bar exam ako, noong 2003, tulala lang ako buong araw pagkatapos ng exam, which is of course the Monday after the Sunday bar exam. Ayokong pag-usapan ng exam o magbukas ng libro buong araw pagkatapos ng exam. 2 days after lang o sa Tuesday pa, bumabalik yung groove ko para mag-aral para sa susunod na exam, ibig sabihin sa darating na linggo. Pero sa mga bar examinees ngayong taon, nako, di pwede yung 1 week rest, no? Bawal ang nakatunganga lang after the exam. Aral agad kasi 1 day lang ang rest bago ang next exam. Kung kailangan nyo magtunganga or tumunganga at kalimutan ang bar exam, mga 5 minutes lang. Pagkatapos ng 5 minutes ay aral ulit, bakbakan na ulit. The important question is this even humanly possible? I think it is. First, these bar examinees have been studying hard. Half of this since 2020 pa. Akalain nyo yun, magdadalawang taon nang nagre-review yung madami sa kanila. Kasi dapat nung November 2020 ay nag-take sila pero na-cancel yun dahil nga sa COVID at dapat sabay na sa 2021 bar na dapat ay ginanap din noong November 2021. Pero ayun, di naman natuloy dahil din sa COVID. Kaya mahabang panahon na silang nagre-review. So lahat ng mga itatanong sa bar exam ay napag-aralan na nila. Kahit siguro ibigay ang bar exam ngayon, kaya na nilang sagutin ang mga tanong. Just believe in yourself, guys. And another reason why I believe the 2-day examination with just a day in between rest is humanly possible is the reduction of the coverage of the exams. Yes, iniksian ng Supreme Court ang coverage ng bar exam. From the usual 8 sets of examinations, 4 na lang ngayon. Sa mga nakaraang bar exams, 8 ang subjects: political law, labor law, civil law, taxation law, commercial law, criminal law, remedial law, at legal ethics and practical exercises. Ngayon ay 4 na combined subjects na. First, the law pertaining to the state and its relationship with its citizens, formerly political law, labor law, and taxation law. Only 18 questions will be asked. This will be administered morning of January 23, 2022. Second is criminal law, 15 questions only. This will be administered afternoon of January 23, 2022. Third is the law pertaining to private, personal, and commercial relations, formerly civil law and commercial law. 18 questions only. This will be administered morning of January 25, 2022. Fourth and last is the procedure and professional ethics, formerly remedial law, legal ethics, and practical exercises. At 15 questions lang yun. This will be administered afternoon of January 25, 2022. Moreover, the Supreme Court provided the scope and distribution of the questions for these subjects. Let's take civil law, my subject. 12 questions will be asked. Yung 6 ay manggagaling sa commercial law. The 12 questions will be taken from these topics: legal personality and capacity to act, marital relationships, property, particularly concept of property, ownership, co-ownership, right of accession, easement and nuisance, obligations, contracts in general, loans and mortgages, interest, torts and quasi-delicts, lastly, damages. Hindi na po kasama sa exam ang conflicts of law, property topics of possession, usufruct, donations. Hindi na rin kasama ang succession, prescription, natural obligations, quasi-contracts, estoppel, trusts, ano pa ba? Sales, agency, deposit, ano pa ang hindi kasama? Loans, compromise, lease, and land titles and deeds. O diba, ang daming hindi kasama. Saan ka pa? I think this is how the Supreme Court strikes a balance between the need to admit new lawyers and the difficult ordeal of our examinees during these difficult times. Sabi nga nila, desperate times call for desperate measures. It means that actions that might seem extreme under normal circumstances are appropriate during adversity. Diba? Tama nga naman. And because of that, this revised bar exam is only pro hac vice. Ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin ng pro hac vice? Pro hac vice literally means for this case only. Ibig sabihin, ang naging pasya o resolution ay para sa sitwasyon lang na ito at hindi para sa ibang sitwasyon, lalo na in the future. Kumbaga, solely for this purpose. Kaya sa susunod na bar exam, naku, balik na ulit sa dati. Kaya dapat ba magbunyi o magpasalamat ang mga bar examinees ngayon? Pwede. Pero Diyos ko, mag-aral na lang kayo, uy. Ang nakakalungkot, in-adjust na nga, tapos di pa pumasa. Aray. Kaya huwag kumpiyansa. Mag-aral ng mabuti, pray for a clear mind and steady heart. Kaya nyo yan. Oh, by the way, abangan pala, magbibigay ako ng quick last-minute civil law lecture dito sa channel ko between January 20 and 22. Kaya abangan. Sana makapanood kayo. Now to the next issue. The Makati City Government closes Berjaya Hotel for the quarantine breach of Gwyneth Chua. But the hotel says the order is without legal basis. Today, Thursday, pinuntahan ng mga tauhan ng Business Permits and Licensing Office ang Berjaya Hotel para ipasara ito. Ang naging basehan ng City Government ay ang pagsuspinde ng Department of Tourism na accreditation ng Berjaya na may visa na 3 buwan. According to Attorney Don Camiña, Makati City Legal Officer, considering that Berjaya's DOT accreditation has been suspended, the city is closing it since only hotels with DOT accreditation can operate at this time under relevant DOT and IATF guidelines. Ang sabi naman ng Berjaya, the order by the Makati City Hall closing down Berjaya Makati Hotel's operations based on the suspension order issued by the Department of Tourism is without legal basis. According to Berjaya, the DOT's order is not yet final dahil may 15-day period pa sila para i-appeal ang naturang order ng DOT. Isa pa, dapat daw ay binigyan ng City Government ng due process ang Berjaya. Ibig sabihin, dapat may notice at pinag-explain muna ang Berjaya kung karapat dapat ba itong ipasara. Ang isa pang argument ng Berjaya ay may mga guests pa raw sila na under quarantine dun sa hotel na yon, at may mga confirmed bookings pa for quarantine din na hindi pa dumarating. So paano na lang sila? Okay, this is my take on the matter, and this may not be the popular opinion. In all proceedings, whether judicial or administrative, like in this case, every person has the right to due process. The right to due process is the right to be heard. Even if the allegation or charge is clear, the person charged should still be given notice and the chance to answer the charge. The concept of due process is traced to Themistocles, who cried, "Strike, but hear me first." Further, Daniel Webster defines due process as law that hears before it condemns, proceeds upon inquiry, and renders judgment only after trial. In every prosecution, even the most guilty deserves to be heard. That has been the law, and we live in a country of laws and not of men who just act or decide on the basis of anger, whim, or caprice. Yes, Berjaya was already suspended by the DOT. But I know of no law that makes it automatic for other agencies to adopt another agency's actions, findings, or decisions without the appropriate request or complaint. May nag-file ba ng complaint for revocation of license ng Berjaya? At kung meron man, did the complainant allege and offer the DOT suspension order in evidence? Next, and more importantly, was Berjaya given the chance to answer and explain why it should not be closed on the basis of the DOT suspension order? Wala, di ba? Masyado lang advance mag-isip itong Makati. I know that Berjaya is in hot water for the quarantine breach of Gunit Chua. If it was indeed negligent, then let it be punished under the law, but only after due proceedings as prescribed by law. Para ano pa ang Constitution, mga batas at ang mga rules of procedure kung hindi naman natin susundin? Is this tokhang culture so ingrained in all our government actions? Huwag naman sana. Tama na ang isip tokhang. Our last issue in this report is no job, no passport service in malls. The report quoted the Department of Foreign Affairs as saying that its consular offices and temporary off-site passport services located in malls in areas where alert level 3 will not be able to accommodate unvaccinated individuals because of the restrictions imposed by malls barring entry of unvaccinated persons. Up front, I'm saying this is problematic, bordering on illegal. Labag sa konstitusyon at sa batas ang pagbabawal sa mga unvaccinated na makipagtransaksyon sa gobyerno. Although mass vaccination is a state policy, the law does not make vaccination mandatory. It is encouraged, but it is not mandatory. The state cannot compel a person to get vaccinated if it is against his will. It is a violation of the freedom of choice, which is guaranteed by the Constitution. Ang dapat gawin instead ay aggressive information campaign, kumbinsihin sila, i-encourage sila. Although not entirely on the same footing, but it is like forcing you to vote for a particular presidential candidate. That is clearly in violation of your freedom of choice. Your vote, your choice. Your body, your choice. Gets? This freedom is further guaranteed by Section 12 of Republic Act 11525 or the COVID-19 Vaccination Program of 2021, which provides that the vaccine cards shall not be considered as an additional mandatory requirement for educational, employment, and other similar government transactions. Emphasis on other similar government transactions like passport processing. Although the law says vaccine cards, the term vaccine card refers definitely to vaccination. After all, the vaccine card is the proof of vaccination. So tama ba yung posisyon ng DFA? I respectfully submit that it is wrong. And the DFA mistakenly used as excuse the policy of the mall not allowing unvaccinated individuals inside the malls. Even if the satellite passport processing center is inside the mall's policy cannot prevail over and suppress the accommodation of passport applicants in these satellite passport processing centers. The national law or policy prevails over mall rules or policy. These malls are operating under the behest or permission of the state. State laws and policies are deemed incorporated into their license to operate. Another argument is this. since the malls are supposedly following orders not to allow unvaccinated mall goers to dine, shop, and do the usual businesses in these malls. Such order is limited only to that, dining, shopping, and usual businesses in these malls. Passport application or processing is not covered. Hindi kasali doon ang passport processing. It should be an exception and it prevails over the general rule on mall businesses. Dapat payagan ang mga unvaccinated na mag-process ng passport application nila. Ang dapat gawin ng mall ay magbigay ng specific na access to the satellite passport processing center, kung nasa third floor ba yan, fourth floor, o nasa ground floor ba yan, or nasa basement. Kung ayaw talaga nilang pakainin o ipag-shopping sa loob ng mall ang mga applicants. Para namang kawalan ng mga passport applicants ang hindi pag-dine-in at pag-shopping sa mall nila. Diyos ko. Pupunta ang mga applicants doon para mag-apply at mag-process ng passport, hindi para mag-dine-in or mag-shopping. Ngayon, kung pagkatapos nila mag-apply at mag-process ng passport, gusto nilang mag-dine-in or mag-shopping, then doon nyo sila hanapan ng vaccination card. Kasi yun ay sakop ng order na sinusunod ninyo. Hindi na makakaangal ang mga unvaccinated pagdating sa policy na iyon. Yes guys, may karapatan po ang mga malls na pagbawalan ang mga unvaccinated na makipagtransaksyon sa kanila. Hindi ito saklaw ng RA 11525. Ang saklaw lang ng batas kung saan pinagbabawal ang no vaccine, no transaction or no work policy ay ang mga eskwelahan, mga trabaho at iba pang mga government transactions. So ano ang huling salita ko dito? Nakakalungkot ka, DFA. Dapat pinaglaban mo ang mga passport applicants regardless of vaccination status. You are here to serve them. Sadly, this is not service. Hi, issues, nakakaloka. But all I'm saying here is my opinion. Take it or leave it. Sana sa pamamagitan ng free and public discussion na ito ay ma-reconsider ng mga concerned ang mga actions nila para gawin ang tama at mabuti. Alright, I'll end it here. If you have waited till the end, thank you for watching. I hope to see you again next week, ha? Ingat po ang lahat. Laging tatandaan, isip ay buksan, alamin ng batas. Bye guys.